Hey, welcome to a Lightning Q&A. I'm so glad you're here. Let's go ahead and dive in. So this situation here is, we're making under 100K. We're working on how/where to throw sober community events. The bottle shop was the start of the movement. Now it needs to expand to serve the next need, which is the sober social space. Love this. I love that we're, step one, check. Now we're on to step two. So we're looking to optimize, create a process and then optimize it, especially for our community that we're trying to serve. So this is really great because, not only is the bottle shop going to be able to help serve at the event, but the event will end up serving the bottle shop by teaching people where to go outside of the event to get all of the goodies that they got while they were at the event. So this is a brilliant structure. I just want to start off by complimenting you, and I think what you're doing is really cool. So let's talk about priorities in order to throw the events. So of course you're figuring out where, and that is only, you're really going to know that in terms of figuring out what kind of events you want to throw first, what your budget is, and what your area is. So step one, figure out what kind of events you want to throw. What activities are people going to be doing at these events? And if you need help or want more guidance on any of these specific bullet points, do know that all of these things are taught inside of the Bula Boss container. So this is just kind of the list to get you started. But figure out what type you want. Then you're going to take the temperature of your current audience with an intro offer. So what I mean by this is, yes, you want to host by events. Of course, I'm sure you mean you want to do some free to the public open ones, but I'm sure you also are interested in potentially doing private events where either you travel to them or they come into your space, rent out your space, do the thing. So you can start by having an intro offer where you're like, hey, I know the first 5 people who want to book a baby shower or a wedding or a special celebration with us gets a very special introductory package where these things are provided. And again, I'm happy to help you come up with these offers, but you want to start with some offers, put them out to your audience, because a lot of people are going to say they're interested in something, but the amount of people that are actually going to buy and convert into buyers tends to be about 1 to 5%. And this is not a bad thing. This is not a negative thing whatsoever. This is a wonderful thing. It's just a matter of how do we filter through all the ideas and the people. So we start by putting that offer out there. Whoever bites, now we know, okay, this definitely made me money right away. What can I do to optimize this, to automate this process so it's more seamless for not only the customer, but for you as the service provider so that you're not burnt out by this? Now, once that process, you've done that a few times with a few clients, so you're really ironing out, now you're going to be able to find more ways of monetizing the experience in a way that shows your value. So here's what I mean. If you're doing private events, maybe you're learning, hey, turns out some of these people also love my decorating style, so maybe I have an extra decorating fee. Normally I serve things in these basic cups, but if you want cute cups, if you want girly cups, you want things that go whatever with the theme of your event, or if you want to give a presentation so that people understand what the bar is, or if you're educating people who are at the event, you can have these extra add-ons. Maybe people want gift bags to go. Hey, do you want us to create little party favors for your guests? It's a very awesome, easy upsell. It's super fun to put together, right? So that's only going to happen with time and you being in these experiences to learn about where else you're leaving money on the table. Like, what other revenue streams are you not putting out there and saying, hey, I could do that too, in a way that maintains your boundaries. What is good in optimizing your process? You want to further help people, not further complicate them. In fact, more often than not, the more simple and straightforward an offer is, the better. Like, you don't need to zhuzh it up and add 10 extra layers of value to something that has a single bullet point. People really like straightforward business. Hey, this is what I paid for. This is what I expect. Because sometimes if you're over delivering and then someone's not grateful, you're going to end up feeling energetically damaged by it. You're going to feel too tired to go back out and make another sale. You're going to leave money and opportunity on the table because you're just too tired, because you just gave away too much of yourself for not enough value. So I do want to mention that when you are putting events together, make sure you understand your boundaries for the actual services that you are providing, especially when it comes to your hourly rates if you're serving, and ensuring that people are paying deposits up front so that if they change their mind, it doesn't affect your business. So protect yourself in those ways. After you've done this, then you can learn how to turn it into a scalable offer. So by scalable, I mean there's only so many events like that you can do in one day without hiring staff and all the things, right? So how can you reach thousands of people that aren't even in your local area as a bottle shop owner, and you want to put these events out there? Well, you can create online events. You can create online social happy hours. You can create online experiences that are like, hey, I'm a bottle shop opener. This is just sober hour with me, and we're just going to hang out, and you get this free happy hour for free with a subscription and to my monthly box set. So maybe you send a box set out to people every month, and they pay $50 for that box, but included with that $50 per month subscription is showing up to this Zoom call. So you see how you can serve one person or 1,000 people, but you're only showing up the same amount of time. Of course, you have to ship out the boxes, but that's what your team is for. And even if you are a team of just you, obviously, once you're getting to volume, it becomes a lot easier to at least hire someone to help you do these manual things that you shouldn't have to do as CEO for too long. The CEO is founder, right? So all that being said, if you need help systemizing, focusing, and prioritizing, figuring out what order to do these things, how do you build out these actual systems? Because it's all fun to talk about, but how do you actually do it in a way that doesn't blow your brains out, right? Like, how do you do this literally? So what I mean is I don't use paper planners, right? Like, I build databases in a platform called Notion. I'm super happy to teach you how to use it. But basically that's my favorite thing to do, because no matter where I am, I can always pick up all of my intellectual property anywhere I am. And if I'm at an event, if I'm out in the world, I can open it on my laptop, I can open it on my phone, otherwise it's on my computer at home. But this way you have all of your event information in one place, so you're not freaking out day of thinking, where's all my things? So it's really important that as you add any revenue stream, as you want to do any additional venture, ensure you understand how you can do it first through technology before you start to do certain things out in the world. Because like I mentioned, if your information is everywhere, just imagine you have a bunch of Post-it notes and they're in your car, they're scattered on the highway, they're in some corner over here, there's some here in your office, maybe there's some in the kitchen. Like, that can drive you mad, and that can literally make you lose days, weeks of productivity. But if you build a container where all of this information is, databases, spreadsheets, systems, to where you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you do a new event, where you can literally just show up and have the smallest amount of prep possible, make sure you have that type of system set up before you dive very deeply into having a very heavy calendar. Because this is the last story I'm going to tell for this. One time I had a client who paid in full for my program. One of my programs was $1,000 at the time, and she paid for all of it, but she didn't show up once, like at all. And then the program expired and she was never there. And the reason was because she booked herself too full. Like, her calendar got too full and she didn't create systems to be able to capture all that. Like, sure, she was making money, but was she? Because she was actually, there was a lot of cost involved with the lack of systems. So she ended up breaking even. So she worked super hard and got pretty burnt out and beat up her body and didn't end up, feeling the reward. And then she skipped out on being able to actually make a difference in her life because she didn't have put the time and the prioritization in this part. So I want to mention, like, before you go breaking your back, just make sure that you're like, okay, how do I want to like, as I'm going into this new project, how can I streamline all of the data that is naturally going to come in with doing this? So even if you want to make up a fake party in your head, like literally like, hey, I'm building a cool party for Polly Pocket and her friends, and they're come over for a fun fashion day. Like literally, like, what would it be like to throw a party? What are the things I'd need? Go onto Pinterest. What are the things in every little picture? So you're already creating checklists of things you need to purchase or plan for, right? So make all of those lists before, like, at least you don't have to make them perfect. I don't want to say make them perfect, but what I'm saying is just make sure you're like, okay, where do I want some of these pieces to fall, so that you have the bucket there so you're ready to bring it in. So I know there's a lot there. Just remember, this list of priorities, it's in order for a reason. So start with figuring out the type of event, take the temperature of your audience, build what they bite on. That's where we're systemizing, right? We're optimizing, we're automating. Then we're finding more ways to make money within the experience. We're building new revenue streams, even inside of the event revenue stream. And then we're going to learn how to make it scalable for everyone. Okay? So I hope that was helpful. If you have any additional questions, you just let me know. But you're killing it, and I'm proud of you.